In the Naruto universe, there have always been mysteries that remain unsolved to this day. For instance, Hashirama's death, or even the unknown origin of his Sage Mode, the extermination of the Uzumaki clan, and why the Enbu special forces are so ineffective. But one of the greatest secrets still talked about, likely related to the Otsutsuki clan, is Jashin. Today I want to discuss everything we know about this ancient Otsutsuki, why I believe he might have been a colleague of Shibai Otsutsuki, and how he embodies destruction. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel, and let's see. The name Jashin in Japanese translates to evil god or god of destruction. In the context of the Naruto universe, Jashin is portrayed as a god of chaos and destruction who demands that his followers, like Hidan, causes suffering as a form of worship. Unlike the other Otsutsuki who absorb chakra from various planets to grow stronger, Jashin might have developed a special technique to absorb power from the suffering and death of others, explaining the brutal philosophy of his cult. Instead of relying on the regular chakra, Jashin would have discovered how to manipulate the dark chakra, a negative energy stemming from pain and destruction. This unique form of energy fuels his power. This is also why Jashin's followers like Hidan are required to perform bloody rituals, sustaining Jashin's power and influence on Earth. Thus, Jashin's cult might have been an experiment to see if he could transform his dark chakra into a constant power source for himself. I think it's very likely that Jashin could have been Shibai Otsutsuki's colleague. We know the Otsutsuki family members are set across the universe in pairs to consume planets. Until now, we've never heard of Shibai's partner, but technically all Otsutsuki are paired. In Otsutsuki's history, immortality and chakra accumulation are fundamental values of their existence, and Jashin, in his thirst for power, would have developed a unique method to search a semi-divine status on Earth. Like other Otsutsuki, Jashin likely had impressive powers and advanced technology and ninjutsu capabilities, allowing him to manipulate the vital energy of living beings. Jashin might have been considered too dangerous even for the Otsutsuki clan, resulting in his exile. In the Naruto universe, negative chakra exists and is closely linked to the one's desires and emotions. It often affects a person's mind and body, transforming chakra into a force of destruction. One example could be Kurama. When Minato split Kurama's chakra to seal it, he placed the yang version within Naruto and the yin version within himself. Another example is Orochimaru's curse seal, which ironically is very similar to karma. Orochimaru uses curse seal to infuse people with a form of dark chakra, granting them immense power but corrupting their personality, consuming them, and in many cases fully controlling them. If Jashin had been Shibai's colleague, it could mean that he was a lower class ranked Otsutsuki, as shown in these tablets, but perhaps with a darker and more destructive role. If Shibai was seen as a god of creation or an Otsutsuki aspiring to supreme divinity through evolution and chakra absorption, Jashin might represent his opposite, the god of destruction. In this theory, Jashin doesn't consume planets to evolve but might take malicious pleasure by bringing chaos, destruction, and death, making him a cosmic force balancing creation through destruction. Unlike Shibai, who seemingly ascended to another dimension, Jashin might employ techniques based on sacrifices, blood rituals, and bonds of pain and death. This could explain Hidan's immortality and his bloody rituals, which could be an incomplete manifestation of Jashin's power. Hidan's rituals seem to be a method by which Jashin maintains his influence in the human dimension. His immortality is incomplete and chaotic, suggesting it's only a fraction of Jashin's true power. Just as Momoshiki, Ishiki, and even Shibai search for vessels who can maintain their powers, it's possible that Jashin too might look for someone to sustain his immense power. Think of all the experiments Amado conducted for Ishiki, hoping to find a suitable vessel. We are still at the beginning of this cycle of reincarnation through karma, and we don't know much about it. There may be other methods, such as these soul sacrifices. Let's not forget that there's also a god of death from Naruto's time, specifically the Death Reaper seal, which allows you to seal someone's soul in his stomach in exchange for your own soul. This practice isn't entirely new, and I'm convinced that in Boruto we'll see something on a different level. Jashin's power could be based on a type of chakra that even Kaguya or Ishiki didn't access, associated purely with absolute destruction. This might have made him feared among other Otsutsuki, possibly leading to his sealing or removal from the clan's core structure. Jashin may need more than just a follower to regain his power. Hidan's immortality could be merely a tool for rituals that give Jashin the energy needed to stay connected to this world, though not enough to fully bring him back. If Ishiki destroyed Shibai and Jashin's tablets, it might indicate a personal conflict conflict between them. Ishiki took many secrets to the grave. We could have learned so much from him just as we might from Momoshiki if he decides to speak again. It's as if he doesn't want to tell Boruto about their past and how they got to this point. Understanding the whole story with Shibai and Jashin would be very valuable to us. If Momoshiki knows the most about him, he could provide valuable information. In Boruto Blue Vortex, where karma is the central theme, Jashin might find another way to return. If he's truly an ancient Otsutsuki, he might try to return through a vessel who carries immense pain in their soul. The way Hidan carried out his rituals may offer a hint. Perhaps Jashin's return will be complete when there is enough suffering in the world. If someone experienced immense pain, Jashin could emerge within their consciousness. The village Hidan came from was a peaceful one, which didn't satisfy his thirst for battle. Disappointed and frustrated by his village, Hidan searched another way to express his violent desires. In his search for a way to fulfill his bloodlust and desire for violence, Hidan discovered the Jashin cult. It's possible that a similar character could emerge in Boruto, someone consumed by so much pain and suffering that they desire to kill anyone in their way. This bloodlust could be the pathway that leads them to Jashin. I want to also consider the possibility that Jashin might actually be Ishiki. Knowing Kishimoto, he had the whole story with the Otsutsuki planned well in advance, but I'm not sure if he had this in mind when Hidan was introduced, or if he managed to tie it into the story as things progressed. The only thing that makes me doubt this is that we've never seen Ishiki use such a technique before. Jashin is the only one who's shown such a cruel and merciless technique filled with suffering. There's also the possibility that Jashin might actually be Amato. Why do I say this? Well, he appeared out of nowhere, a genius with technology far more advanced than all the 5 great nations combined. If we look at the latest chapters of Boruto Blue Vortex, the Shinju have a ritual that allows them to bring someone back to life using the Torn Soul Bulb. And you know who else can do that? Amado. He can bring his creations, these cyborgs, back to life through a very similar ritual, using their soul. It wouldn't be far-fetched to think that Amado could have given Hidan his immortality power. The most interesting part is that the symbol on the ground where Amado performs his revival ritual is the same as the one used by Hidan. The idea that an Otsutsuki granted Hidan immortality is logical, considering how difficult it used to be to achieve something like that. We all know the lengths Orochimaru went to in his quest for immortality. The only known techniques that offer immortality technically are Edo Tensei, which revives you but not in your natural body, Orochimaru's Curse Heal technique, or something like Rin Rebirth, which can bring you back to life but only once. However, the most effective one is Jashin's technique. Hidan was decapitated and still managed to live. What other entity could be powerful enough to give someone such an ability if not an Otsutsuki? Plus, karma is very similar to the black markings on Hidan's body. When he begins his ritual, his body becomes covered with them. First, Hidan has to get a blood sample from his opponent, and once he has the blood, Hidan consumes it, establishing a direct connection with his opponent. After drinking the blood, he draws a circle with a triangle inside and stands on it to activate the technique. Once inside the ritual circle, Hidan enters a new form, and his body changes in appearance. From this point on, he becomes an avatar of Jashin, and any injury he inflicts on himself will be mirrored onto his opponent. If he stabs himself in the heart, his opponent will suffer a fatal heart wound. Fortunately for him, Hidan doesn't die, though he still feels the pain. Even though he's immortal, Hidan still needs food and care to survive. If incapacitated or isolated in a way that prevents him from feeding, he'll suffer a slow death. This is actually his fate, as Shikamaru buries him in a pit where he can no longer perform rituals or feed himself. Hidan's technique is both a lethal attack and a pact with an evil deity. His immortality is a sinister blessing granted by Jashin. I wouldn't be surprised if the series takes an even darker turn, bringing us closer to the right moment for Jashin to be revealed. But what do you guys think about all of this? Write in the comments. Thank you all for the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me a lot, and I'll see you guys next time.